This is Kwan. She's 3 years old. She's cared for by the women at Samaritan Creations. Her mother, Boo, had a very hard life and wanted a better life for her daughter. Maybe if you knew what Boo went through, you would better understand why Samaritan Creations is part of their lives.
My name is Boo and I am 18 years old. For a long time, I felt unsafe and unprotected. My childhood was very unstable. My father abandoned me before I was 1 year old. The first memory I have of my mother is from when I was 10 years old and she picked me up from my great-grandmother's. Those first memories were followed very quickly by the last, as she died a few days later from HIV. I lived at an orphanage for a few years after my mother's death. I felt discarded like a piece of garbage that no one dared touch. Eventually, when I was 12 or 13, a relative found me. It was miserable at home because we fought so often. We had a neighbor who I liked. He told me that he knew of a garden job I could have. When he said that he would take me there, it sounded so wonderful. While we were in his truck, he tried to rape me. I pleaded with him not to hurt me. I don't know why, but he relented. Then he told me that there was no gardening job and dropped me off at a bar instead. Men were constantly leering at me and groping me as I served them drinks. On the third day, a customer paid the bar fee to take me out and have his way with me. I had escaped rape 3 days before, and I wasn't about to submit to it now, so I ran. I went to a friend's house thinking I would be safe there. She had many people at the house that night, and while I was there, I was raped in the place I had hoped would be a sanctuary. When I was 17, I went to Samaritan Creations, but I was still not safe. I met a boy who I thought loved me. I thought he would care for me, but he quickly became abusive. Even after I became pregnant, he would not stop beating me. He would take the money that I earned at Samaritan Creations and spend it on video games. He used me to fuel his addiction, and he used me as his punching bag. That year, I learned the identity of my father and decided to try to find him. When I called him on the telephone, he sounded so happy to hear from me. I went with my boyfriend and my unborn baby, but I only found another person who wanted to use me. I hated every minute of it. I gave birth while I was staying with my father, and when my baby was 10 days old, I went back to Samaritan Creations. It was after the birth of my daughter that I truly gave my life to God. I broke up with my boyfriend and started to find healing. I finally accepted the love that God and the people here offered me. God has filled my life and changed my heart. God has given me everything that I never received when I was a child: love, mercy, and care. God has never abandoned me, and He is never late. I am so thankful for everything He has done for me. I am so thankful for a daughter who has a good mind, a happy heart, and a strong body. God has given meaning to my life.